In this video, we're going to go over the steps to fill out a CSA. Once you have identified the vendor or organization and have all of their information, it is time to fill out a CSA. What is a CSA? A CSA is a contract signature approval. It is an internal form that authorizes the contracts office to create a contract or to review the vendor's contract for Bellevue College to contract with a vendor, another institution, or other organizations. The CSA provides all of the information we need to work on your contract. Please verify all vendor information is accurate to avoid delays in processing. The CSA is used for all kinds of contracts: service contracts, performance agreements, affiliation agreements, interlocal agreements, services to be paid with grant funding, etc. When do I fill out a CSA? When you are sending a contract preparation request for 1. New contracts for services, 2. An amendment to an existing contract, 3. An extension to an existing contract, 4. When you are sending a quote with terms and conditions, or when you are sending a contract for our office to review in which the college needs to sign. Do I need to submit a CSA for a contract with $0 value? Yes, you do. The contracts office needs to review the indemnification clause, privacy and liability clauses, and any other legal terms of such contract. Why do I need to fill out a CSA? Per College Policy 1150, all college contracts, regardless of signature authority, must be submitted with a contract signature approval (CSA) form to contracts staff for legal review. How do I fill out a CSA? On top of the form, please indicate if this is a new contract or an extension of an existing contract. The next section is the vendor contact information. Please provide the contractor name. Use their official name as indicated in their W-9. It is very important that you fill out the contact name, their address, phone number, as this information will be used to contact the vendor if there are any questions or to send their payment. For the email address, please enter the email for the person who will be signing the contract. The contract will be sent via Adobe Sign. If we don't have a correct, accurate email address, the contract will come back as undeliverable. All contractors need to be in CTC Link prior contracting with them so we can issue their payment when services have been performed. For project information, please provide the specifics of your project. For speaker agreements, please list the name of the presentation and the purpose if you have it available. We also have a scope of work form located in our SharePoint site if you need additional space to provide details for your project. Please ensure that you filled out the date, time, location, and equipment and any other vendor requests. For performers and speakers, it's very important to indicate if the vendor is going to allow recording. If so, select what kind of permissions will be allowed. For data reporting information for that question, please ensure you answer it. If the contract involves any data reporting, please inform the Executive Director of Effectiveness Research Analysis, as he needs to approve and sign the CSA as well. For the Project Manager Director section, this is the person who is the contact for the agreement. This person will ensure the vendor or the organization is in compliance with the agreed terms of the contract. Should an issue arise, this person will bring it up to their supervisor for a resolution. For the budget information, please provide the budget number, budget authority, and specify if it is a state, federal, or any other budgets will be used to pay for the services. If the total is over $30,000, please attach 3 bids and justification for your selection. Before sending the CSA to the contracts office, please sign it and have your vice president sign it. The contracts office is not authorized to process or submit any contracts for the college signature without a fully completed and signed CSA. Who signs the CSA? There may be other offices involved in the review and approval process. The CSA form includes the routing instructions for signatures at the bottom of the page. The first person to sign the CSA is the project manager/director. This is the contact person for the project. If the vendor provides their own contract, the project manager needs to read the terms prior sending it to the contract office. Second, your area vice president or cabinet member. Third, if the contract involves data sharing, the agreement needs to be reviewed by the executive director of effectiveness research analysis. Fourth, if the contract involves software purchases, software services, and work on consultant projects involving ITX technology and software, the CSA needs to be approved by the Vice President of ITS. Fifth, if the cost of the service or product is over $10,000, the procurement manager reviews to ensure compliance with purchasing regulations. Last, the contracts exceeding $250,000 must include a CSA form signed by the college president. For contracts for technology software, please submit a ticket to Information Technology Services to review and obtain ITS approval. Contract preparation timing. It is recommended the contract to be submitted for review at least 2 weeks prior to the expected delivery of goods or services. Due to accessibility requirements, privacy protection, FERPA regulations, contract negotiations, etc., contracts related to software and databases might take up to 2 months. Contractors will not be paid for goods or services without a valid signed contract. Next steps. First, once you have the CSA completed and signed, please send your contract request to contracts@bellevuecollege.edu. After reviewing the CSA form, we will prepare your contract. Or review the vendor's contract and route the documents to the appropriate parties for approval and signatures. In the event that the contract clauses are not in compliance with the Assistant Attorney General's Office recommendations, contract staff will request edits to the contract or negotiate terms as appropriate. Second, contracts are not considered valid until signatures have been obtained by all parties. Third, contracts must be fully signed before any exchange of goods or services. Fourth, once the agreement is fully executed, the parties involved will automatically receive a copy for their records via an Adobe Sign notification. And now you know how to fill out a CSA. For additional information on the contracts process, please visit our Bellevue College Contracts SharePoint site.
Any preliminary conversations about your contract does not automatically place your contract in the queue. It is only after we have received the completed and signed CSA, W-9 for new vendors, and scope of work for service agreements that your contract will be placed in the queue for processing. Due to the high volume of contracts, please send your documents as soon as possible to allow enough time for processing.